Okay. Hi, girls. Welcome back to another episode of Girls Like Me. Today, I'm joined with the lovely Abby on the podcast. Say hi, Abby.
Hi, everyone.
Abby is the owner of two agencies. So she's got Aventus agency and New Era agency. Abby has been an entrepreneur, I think, from a very early age. She's done like quite a different few things, which is really, really interesting. But I wanted to get Abby onto the podcast today just to kind of speak about her own journey, because I kind of related to that a little bit in the sense of starting out, doing different things, then like pivoting. I think pivoting is a really big thing that you're kind of big on and sharing about. But also your growth across social media, obviously owning your agency. She smashes it on LinkedIn, on all different platforms. So yeah, say hi, Abby.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
You
I'm
are
really
most
excited.
welcome. So yeah, talk to me. Where did your entrepreneurial journey begin?
Oh, gosh. Okay. So I started my first business when I was 14.
Okay.
And that was called Spice Couture.
Spice Couture.
Which genuinely was the worst name. But looking back now, I must have thought I was super cool. Like, I was the shit.
I feel like anything with the word couture in, you just used to be like,
I think back and I'm like, I wonder if it was because of Juicy Couture.
I think it probably was.
There's got to have been some inspiration behind that, but I don't remember it. I actually never owned a Juicy Couture tracksuit either, so I'm not sure where that came from. But yeah, so I started a dropshipping brand when I was 14.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know it was dropshipping.
Yeah.
So I used to essentially buy bikinis and bandage dresses from eBay and China.
I used to love a bandage dress.
Do you remember?
Do you not? Have you seen that they're going back in fashion at the minute?
So that brand is the reason I didn't continue.
Okay.
So like legally, I'm not allowed to speak about it.
Oh, okay.
But that is the reason that like I didn't continue with that brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I did exit it, which was great. So I got something out of it. But they tried to take a lot of us down at the time. I think we were competitors though. Like they were expensive back then.
Yeah,
them
they
dresses. They were like £120 dress. Whereas ours that we were obviously sourcing from China were about, I think we sold them for like 60 or 70. So
I really wanted a bandage dress to go to a party when I was younger. My mum was like, no way on earth.
They were so expensive.
No way on earth.
That's the reason that I started though. So I had nowhere to go at all, but I absolutely loved fashion. And at the time I was like, do you remember Triangle Bikinis? It was like Triangle without the E. No. That was what the brand was called. So everyone had these bikinis and everyone had these bandage dresses. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need them. And my mum was like, why are you going to wear them? I said, that's not the point. I was like, I just want them in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
So anyway, I used to buy them from China with like my pocket money, lunch money, and I'd just save it all and buy them. And then I love modelling as well. Yeah. So I used to book like TFP shoots.
Love that.
So I'd go to these shoots in a place called Chester, and they'd do like studio nights where you'd get like £20 for the night. And all you'd do is you'd just go and model.
Yeah.
And then it'd be photographers that were trying to like gain more experience, get pictures.
Okay.
So I'd take the stock, model the stock, get paid to model the stock. And then I could buy another dress with obviously what they paid me. And then I'd advertise the pictures online. So I never actually held stock other than the things that I owned myself. And then the things that I owned myself, I'd then sell on Depop.
Okay.
So that way I'd get more cash in to then buy new stock to get more pictures. So that's what I did at the time. I had no idea it was a full business until I started making money. And I was like, this works. So I just continued to replicate and scale. And I remember my dad, I think I said this last night.
I was just about to say, like, at what point when your 14-year-old, did you say, is making all this money online, like, they'd probably be scared, like, where's this money coming from?
So when I was 15, we were making 10K a month. And I was like,
wow.
Yeah, I was 15 years old. And my dad was like, no, I don't know if this is illegal. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, all's good. Don't worry. All is good. Because no stock ever came to the house. Everything that I had was just mine. And then obviously money was coming in. But I was literally just drop shipping it direct. So I was changing the addresses on eBay, the addresses on AliExpress.
Yep.
You can't actually do that on eBay anymore. It stopped you from inputting the same tracking code.
Okay.
Because I got to a point where I was like, right, people are waiting so long now for products. How can I speed it up? So then I found suppliers in Manchester that sold the same product, which was slightly more expensive, but I could buy it on eBay. And then the tracking number that they would input, I would take that tracking number and then stick that in my order.
At 14 years old as well. Yeah. Wow.
I have no idea how I got there though.
I was going to say, like, did you have any help? Like, where did you learn? YouTube, what?
Nothing. Genuinely nothing. I think it was just a case of figuring stuff out. And like, I've always been a problem solver.
Okay.
So like from like a really young age, I've always been a problem solver, and I've always wanted nice things. I've always been inspired by like people that have got nice things. Yeah. And when I was in high school, so I left school when I was about 15, I started being homeschooled because I went through like a terrible time in high school.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, I'm not going to get like my GCSEs here. And when I was in primary school, my mum put me through private school and she could not afford that like at all. She couldn't afford it, still put me through it. I hated it, never fit in. And I was never that grade A student, like ever.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, if I don't get my GCSEs here, how the hell am I ever going to like repay them? Like, how am I going to make it in life? Like, both my parents have gone through hell to try and give me the best. And what? I'm just going to leave school with nothing.
No GCSEs, yeah.
So that's the pivot. And I think that's where I got introduced to pivoting, learning new skills, and realising then that there isn't really a job out there that's going to pay me the same amount as what I'm making just by grafting my ass off anyway.
Yeah, I think if you was exposed to making that much money at a very early age as well, nothing like if you were to go and do anything like a teacher or a lawyer, you'd probably be sat there thinking, why am I going to go and do that when
that's the thing.
I can sit at home and do this
Yeah,
and
so
make me X amount.
I did go to uni and then I studied law as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
So
did you finish uni?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because my boyfriend was on a call yesterday and he was on a sales call and he was speaking to someone and he was like, yeah, my girlfriend went to uni. She studied law and then dropped out. And I was like, she dropped out, did she? Do you know me? I was like, I got a degree. He was like, yeah, I meant that. I was like, no, you didn't. Like, you didn't know.
He thought that you genuinely dropped out.
Yeah, I genuinely think he thought I dropped out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I exited Spice Couture when I was 16, continued drop shipping, but never relaunched under a brand. I had something called Brunella Clothing on eBay and just sold like sunglasses, bags, fashion, all of that. Went to college, was a normal student, let's say. But even though I was still selling on the side. So moved out, had obviously had bills to pay for, car, flat and all that. So continued to sell. Then I went to uni and coming up to the end of my first year of uni, I was in the gym with my dad and I was like, I'm bored. I was like, genuinely, uni is boring me. It's like I'm looking at my lecturers and I'm thinking, there is no way in hell you went to uni to study the same degree that I studied to then become a lecturer to teach me.
Yeah.
Like, you are miserable and it's clear that you're miserable. So he was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to launch a gym wear brand. And growing up, my dad was a bodybuilder.
Okay.
So I've literally been in and out of the gym.
Do you know what? I know what your mum looks like from social media, but I don't think I know what your dad looks like. Like, I can't picture your dad, even though that sounds so weird to say I know what your mum looks like. Yeah, but no, when you're saying bodybuilder, I know that you must have posted, like, because you've posted taking them on holiday and stuff like that, but I can't picture what your dad looks like.
Yeah, my dad's a big guy.
Is he?
Yeah. Like, growing up, he was always, like, the biggest, like, in the gym. Like, everyone was, like, obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I think that links into personal branding as well. Like, I'd walk into the gym and everyone would be like, where's your dad? Where's your dad? And everyone knew me for my dad. But then it was about 2-3 years ago now, he's got a heart issue.
Oh, bless.
So he's got back into the gym now. He's not allowed to lift the weights that he used to lift.
Yeah.
But that was a challenge in itself. He had to go to like an Olympic doctor for them to say, Jay, you can't train, because he was like, I'm not listening to anyone that tells me that I can't train unless it's someone like legit.
Oh.
So yeah, but he's a good guy. So launched Gym Law. I said to him I wanted to launch gym wear brand. He was like, well, gym, and I was like, law, and we were like,
you called it Gym Law. Okay.
Gym Law. So that's how that brand came about. So that was in, I think, the August, and then by the October I'd launched.
Yeah.
So I literally went home from the gym that night and I was like, I need suppliers, I need to design, how am I going to do it? So I got my first round of samples in October, got a shoot arranged, and then we did our first shoot in the November, and then we went into lockdown literally just after. I think it was like the January to March between it was March that we'd gone into lockdown. So I'd done my first shoot. Obviously, I felt like a no one at the time. I had all this stock and I was like, shit, how the hell am I going to get this out there? Like, no one was training. The gyms weren't open. I couldn't get girls together to do shoots. I was like, what am I going to do? So I was like a size 10 at the time, and all my samples were like a size 6 to 8. And I'm going to say they were more of a 4. I was like, this ain't going to go near me at all. So I had to basically diet to model my own clothes. So do that. And then positioned myself as the face of the brand for Gym Law during COVID, which I never wanted to do. I wanted to actually stay behind the scenes and just grow it like purely on community.
Okay.
But again, that was silly of me, because the reality is people were buying into me behind the brand, and then I was growing the community.
So do you know at the time when you say community, was you like posting on social media, like in the gym or anything? Like, how was you building that gym community to then go and buy activewear?
So obviously there was no gyms open. Like from the brand launching, we'd literally filmed. The only thing we'd managed to get was like pictures in a studio.
Okay.
So I had like 1, 2, 3, 5 girls I think I had in the studio. Or just kind of like your typical ecom pictures. So it wasn't like your reels and stuff that you've got today. It was just before Instagram reels really became a thing. So that kind of saved me a bit. Then obviously the gyms were closed, so it was all home workouts.
Yep.
Home workouts, garden workouts, runs if we were allowed to like run down the street, which we weren't really allowed to do either.
Yeah.
So everything I then did was I basically did live workouts every day. So on Instagram, we do live workouts in the morning and live workouts in the evening.
Okay.
Now the post office was still open, so I was sending stock to influencers. Well, they basically became like brand ambassadors, and then they would do the lives on the account.
Okay.
So rather than it just being me, I got the ambassadors to grow the community through doing the lives and providing obviously a service that way that was totally free.
Yep.
So we did that and we grew that to 650 global ambassadors within 6 months.
Wow.
So that's what kept the brand scaling, which was good.
Love that. So then, obviously, during lockdown was not ideal for a lot of businesses, and I think it made everyone realise that you've got to pivot, and I think a lot of people's businesses closed down because of lockdown unless you did pivot.
Yeah.
So what happened after that?
It sounds awful, but lockdown was like the best thing that happened to us when it came to the brand, because everyone started working out at home. Everyone was focusing on their health. There was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Like no one else had anything to do other than get in shape. And like I looked my best in lockdown. There was no fast food open, nothing. I looked brilliant. I was like, this is what I need. Fast food
There was fast food open everywhere here. Like
was there?
Everywhere was like. I know. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I went out every single day during lockdown.
Really?
Everything was open. Yeah. I don't know if it was just Leicester, but there was loads of food places open.
Oh my God. No, literally where I live in like the outback. Like I literally live in the middle of nowhere. That's probably why. It did make the brand because obviously everyone was at home. But the day that we all came off lockdown, I remember it hit me like a ton of bricks because the sales were just dry.
Okay.
They were completely dry. Everyone wanted to go to the pub. They wanted to go out. They wanted to go shopping. Like they didn't want to buy gym wear. They were fed up of gym wear at that point.
Yeah.
So I tried to pivot at that time. You know the brand Bow and Tea?
Yeah.
So they started doing like more like lifestyle wear.
Okay.
So they started doing like clothing that you could wear, similar to Adenola. So stuff that you could kind of pair with like a blazer and go out. And I was like, right, how can I pivot and do the same thing? And this was the mistake that I made with the brand. So I tried to pivot, launch under a brand which, well, not relaunch, but like launch a new collection that people could wear every single day and pair with other things.
Yep.
But I'd completely lost the messaging of the brand itself, which was gym law. Like the difference with Bow and Tea is there's nothing that like signals gym. So I tried to go into a lifestyle brand thinking, oh, well, this is going to work, as opposed to just riding the wave out of like, well, people will go back to the gym. They're just enjoying their freedom right now.
Yeah.
And I should have just kind of stuck to that. But anyway, that was my mess up there.
So you weren't still obviously building that lifestyle community because you still had that gym community at the time.
I tried to transition and pivot to the wrong messaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then starting your agencies, where did that kind of start? Because obviously branding's been a big thing, which you've had to learn from a very early age. So I'm guessing that's something that you were always just good at and you had to kind of get to know and understand.
I think it's a skill. I genuinely think branding is a skill. You do have a creative eye. I think you've either got a creative eye or you've got a data-driven eye. There's one or the other.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a mix of both. Like I am obsessed with numbers. So what happened was, obviously the gym wear brand was doing really well. Scaled to a point where I was like, right, we need offices. So we moved into our first office. The first 4 weeks rent was free.
Okay.
And I remember moving into the office, and by like day 3, I got a notification from my supplier saying your stock's still held at customs because of COVID.
Oh, shit.
And it was like 40 grand's worth of stock. It was everything that we had in the bank. And I was like, but I'm saying we, by the way, this was still just me at the time. I was like, shit. So I was like, okay. And every day we were getting charged import fees. I was thinking, we're getting charged these import fees for indefinitely. We have no idea when it's going to be released.
Yep.
It was a new collection of this like black camouflage, like limited edition set. And I was like, okay, how can we ride it out to make sure we can still pay the rent and still obviously keep growing? So I pivoted and launched the agency.
Okay.
Now, the only thing I'd ever outsourced for Gym Law was the ads in the last 2 months before I moved into the office. And I outsourced it to a massive agency based in Birmingham. And it was the worst experience of my life.
Okay.
Genuinely, it was horrific. They were expensive. The guy had a massive personal brand. You would have trusted them with everything based on what you see on social media. And then the moment I started working with them, like my brand was built on women feeling their best.
Yep.
It was all about female empowerment and making them feel absolutely incredible and confident, like the best versions of themselves.
Yeah.
they sent me my ad copy back and it said pink to make the boys wink. And I was like, pink to make the boys wink. Are you feeling all right? Like,
that's not your personal brand at all.
Not in the slightest. But I thought, this is a joke. Like, I don't want to work with them. So we cut that collaboration after 2 months.
Yeah.
So what I realised was I'd run my ads myself that whole time. So it's like, okay, with the agency, what could I do that's better?
Yeah.
So what I did was I was in the office and I was like, I need to find clients that I can deliver the same level of expertise to, because I'm not just in social media branding, I'm also in like logistics, business, like I understand it as a whole. So I launched Aventus, I set up an Indeed account and I created like a portfolio CV.
Okay.
And I started applying for jobs like social media manager roles, marketing roles, paid ad specialists. And then when I'd get the interviews, I'd then pitch the agency. Okay. So it was, I do not recommend this anymore. Like,
that's actually quite clever, you know. I've never thought about that. That's really clever.
Well, back then, no one was really doing it. Like, social media agencies weren't this big thing of like, oh, launch an SMMA. Like, it wasn't a big trend. Yeah. Whereas now everyone's doing it. And I do think you end up wasting people's time. So I wouldn't recommend it to people now because there are so many agencies that try the same tactics.
Yeah.
But it did work. And I remember in that first month, it only took us like 2 weeks to land our first client. And they were called Eco Chic.
Okay.
And I remember he sent me the invitation for the interview. He never turned up to the interview. And I was like, I need this. Like, this is my moment. I need to bag this client. So I rang them. They put me through to like their warehouse. And this guy called Austin answered. And he was like, Abby, I'm so sorry. I'm coming now. And then I felt more guilty because I thought, oh my gosh, this guy's coming to interview me. And I'm going to try and pitch it in a different way. So anyway, had the chat and I just kept it super generalized. I was like, right, this is where you're at. This is really what I would do. Went into my experiences with the businesses and he was like, I need to work with you. I was like, yes, you do.
Love that.
So signed them for 6 months and they actually didn't leave after 6 months, which was great, at £2,400 a month.
That's wicked.
So that covered my rent, which was £600 plus VAT. And then I hired a girl called Hattie straight away.
Okay.
And that cost me, I think it was £1,800. So I was only in the hole then by £120, which was the VAT. So that's how we launched.
That's amazing. So talk to me about personal branding, because I know you're very big on this and also on LinkedIn. So when we was speaking last night, you said that you've had 22 million impressions. On LinkedIn, which is incredible, because I think a lot of people as a whole, or kind of anyone getting started in business, LinkedIn makes me cringe. Like, it really used to make me cringe. I'm saying less now, but it still does make me cringe, because after I post something, I'm just like, oh, like that doesn't belong on LinkedIn. So talk to me about like how you've built up your personal branding and any advice that you would give to someone.
Yeah, okay, so it's 22 million. I've hit 22 million impressions this year. Yeah. If I calculate that with last year as well, it's probably about 40 million. Okay. And if you think about that, that's completely organic posting. And that's feeling the exact same way that you feel when you post and then going, oh, it doesn't belong on LinkedIn. Because that is exactly how I started. Like the very first year, I didn't ask for anything from my audience. Yeah. All I did was post, be someone of significance, let's say, because I sat down and I worked out, okay, well, the 4 tips that I said last night. So 4 tips to grow your personal brand. You always want to start off with, why do you want to grow your personal brand? Like, what is the end goal? Yeah. Then you have to say to yourself, okay, well, what do I want to be known for? And then once you establish what you want to be known for, you then have to say to yourself, okay, well, how do I get there? Like, what do I need to do in order to be able to do this? And you'll find that to get to where you really want to be, you need new skills, you need a new team, you need to hire people. Yeah. So you need to work out, okay, well, who do I need to hire to get there? So that's what I'd recommend when it comes to like building your personal brand. Because if you don't start with your why and you just start posting, you do feel a bit cringe because you're posting for the sake of it and you have no idea what your intention is. But you have to think with like your personal brand is your reputation. Yep. That is how people see you. Yep. So if you don't start with the basics, you're just posting. And they say you're posting into the void because you literally are. Like people are looking at you and they're going, well, what's the significance of that post? What does that mean? But if it's not building anything, it actually means nothing. So they're more right than you are. So when I started posting on LinkedIn, I sat down and asked myself all these questions. Yep. I was like, right, this is what I want to be known for. I actually started recycling a lot of my Instagram content as well and just posting that directly over to LinkedIn. Again, do I recommend that? Not really. But in my head, I didn't know what content worked and what content didn't work on LinkedIn. Yep. So I thought the only thing I could do here is test everything. So the first 6 months was a testing phase of video content, carousels, static images. I'm removing the emotion from it. Just literally posting and ghosting, even though they say don't do that. I would literally post and be like, see you later, I'm off. Because I couldn't deal with the whole, oh my gosh, people are going to think this isn't for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like you're feeling that now, and this was 2 years ago. So if you think that 2 years of growth, people were well stuck in their ways 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this isn't the platform for this. If I posted anything where I had like my belly out, like let's say I had like a 2-piece on and my stomach was out.
That's how I feel as well.
I get it, but it is completely changing.
I feel like you can do that on Instagram, like you can skin out if you want to, you can post a bikini pic if you want to, but on LinkedIn I'm just like,
I wouldn't post a bikini pic.
no. But like you get what I mean, like have skin out or wear like, but then I don't know, it's a fine line, isn't it?
There's a fine line. Like I don't post, to be fair, I don't go out, but if I was going to go out and I was with the girls and stuff, not really, no.
Okay.
Not really. But if I was, I wouldn't post pictures like with the girls, like drinking and stuff like that. I think that is my fine line. Yeah. But that comes down to your brand as well.
Yeah.
It comes down to what do you want to have associated with you. Mm-hmm. Like even when I post a bikini picture on Instagram, I hate it. I despise posting stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, it goes through me. I'm like, it doesn't align with my brand because I instantly know that's going to attract pervy men. That's just the reality.
This is how I feel as well, because it's like, but I'm a fine line because obviously my target audience is women. Like that's the community that I'm building. And as girls, like we all want to go on holiday. We all want to enjoy that. We all want to feel sexy on holiday and whatnot. But you are right. It's just the pervy men. And I just sit there thinking like, I can't even be asked to delete the amount of DMs or, you know what I mean? Like
I ignore them. Like you have to, like I post it, say because I love going away. I'm away a lot. Yeah. So when I post like on a yacht, like in a bikini, I know that I'm dreading posting it because that's what it's going to attract. Yeah. But then I'm like, but really the only reason I'm dreading that is because of that. And people say, oh, we're only doing it for attention off like things off men. It's like, well, you're not. Like you're actually not. You're posting it because
you're there. I actually just do it for the girls. Like I just love it for the girls. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but people don't jump to that conclusion straight away. No, I wouldn't. Like when it comes to content on LinkedIn, like it is a different place. You have to decide what do you want your brand to be associated with. Yeah. And if it is content being out, like I do see people post bikini pictures on LinkedIn. Do I recommend it? Not really right now, but I do.
You do.
It's none of my business.
It's not something that I would do either. But I think like what you were saying about that cringe element, because I did go through a phase where I was posting every day, like how you said you scheduled in loads of posts for a good month and then after that you just ghosted. That's been me. But I think also at the same time, when you are building your personal brand and it is just you and you haven't got a team and you haven't got a budget to hire people, I'm the person at the minute that will physically be scheduling this. Yeah. So what would you recommend for someone that is, let's say, starting out or just trying to build their personal brand and maybe they don't have the resources to go and hire someone?
Start with the basics. Yeah. Like decide on a cadence that works for you. Yep. Don't just post, don't just jump in full and be like, right, 7 posts a week. Because you've got to have the content for that. Mm-hmm. You've got to have the content for that. You've got to really understand your ideal client. To be fair, once you understand your ideal client, you'll have content for days. Yeah. And if you struggle with I would say if you struggle with content ideas, it's because you don't understand your client enough. Okay. Like once you're at a point where you're like, right, this is to a T, you will never run out of content ideas because you will always be positioning yourself as that go-to person that answers all of their pain points. Yeah. In the initial stages, when you haven't got a budget, decide on that cadence. Say if it's 3 to 5 times a week, sit down and say, right, I need to now develop and batch create this content. So that way I've got time to put into other things. My personal advice is when social media is very time consuming, but you don't want to just outsource that straight away anyway. Okay. If you outsource that straight away, you'll never understand your own brand. You'll never know what works. Yeah. And that person that you're outsourcing it to, they don't know you either. Yeah. If you've not worked it out, you can't expect anyone else to work out, regardless of how big of an expert they are. I also say if you're going to outsource it to someone, you want to outsource it to someone that is a specialist within that platform, not a generalist. Because if you pay cheap and you pay for a generalist, you're only going to get generalist results. You can't expect to obviously achieve the best. If you did want to outsource and you did eventually get like a small budget and you were still just starting out, keep everything in-house with you besides like the posting. Maybe like reporting, maybe the scheduling, like stuff like that. I would outsource that to a VA. So I would actually go to like the Philippines. Onlinejobs.ph is a brilliant website. They are fantastic to work with. Like I've got like 4 Filipino employees now, and that
was onlinejobs.
Onlinejobs.ph.
Okay.
It's about £70, I think it is, to sign up to the platform, or $70. You basically put like job applications out and then people just apply like a normal Indeed website. You do interviews with them over Zoom and they'll work to your hours, or you can work around their hours, but outsource the tasks that don't generate income. Yeah. Like always start with, as you're scaling, depending on what it is that you want to do, obviously, and where you want to take it, as you're scaling, outsource the tasks that literally just drain your time. And it'll cost you anything from $5 to $8 an hour for them to do it for you.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And a lot of people have said go and get a VA.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people struggle with is actually understanding what your brand identity is. And I think for a lot of people, when they've got different things that they want to do, it's like it's better off to pick one thing and be known for that.
Yeah.
But how do you do that when you also do other things, if that makes sense? So it's like kind of knowing what to post when you've got that much going on.
It's funny because in your 20s, let's say, are the weirdest ages.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
27.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
25.
Yeah.
So, but I always find it's people in your, usually in like your 20s and 30s as well. Yeah. People are like, what am I posting about? I'm doing all of this. It's a really weird time of our lives because we're doing everything. And like, the problem with today is there is so much that you can do. There are so many different avenues that you can take that you go down every avenue.
Yeah.
So then you start offering everything. And that comes back to what we said earlier about wanting everything fast. We go down all these different routes because we think it's going to make us more successful. We're going to generate more income because people are talking about property, drop shipping, social media marketing agencies. Like, you then want to start everything. I think there was someone at the event yesterday who does marketing, she's in property. And I was like, that is so similar to where I was.
Yeah.
I think she's 23. And when I was 23, I was exactly the same. I still had an e-com brand. I had a marketing agency. I got my first property at 24. So at 24, I was when I had everything. And I'm thinking, my mind's all over the place.
Yeah.
The moment I honed in on one thing, which was my agency, and just went all in on offers, my business literally blew up because I wasn't distracted by everything else. It actually took my boyfriend to tell me to do that.
Really?
Yeah, it did. Like, we went for dinner one night. We'd actually just got together.
Because I was going to say, I'm sure you were like involved in property and stuff and doing other things.
I am still involved in that.
Yeah.
So the difference now with that is I'm due to sell my first home. So that's due to go on the market hopefully next month. And I'm going to pass that off to my dad.
Okay.
So that company is just going to relaunch under me and my dad.
Love that.
And then he's going to essentially run that. I'll be the face of it, but he can run it.
Yeah.
Because I can't. Like, I physically can't. I've retired my mum and I want to have something for my dad.
Congratulations for that. When I seen that, I just thought it was so amazing. So amazing.
It was nerve-wracking.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I bet it still is. Like, when you were saying yesterday, like, that's a lot of pressure as well to be able to retire one of your parents.
Yes. It is a lot of pressure. I think I don't think about it. So, like, when it comes to, like, revenue for the business, I don't count that in the revenue.
Okay.
That's just something totally different.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then you just I just kind of remove it. I remove all emotion from it because otherwise I'll panic. And I'm like, I don't want to panic. I know that this is what I'm made for. This is the route I need to go down.
So do you know, like, why I like you? Obviously, I'm a bit of a stalker as well on LinkedIn and stuff. Obviously, I've met you in general, but since meeting you, I think I met you like over a year and a half ago initially.
Where did we meet? Wait,
Property Entrepreneur Summit, I think it was. Yeah.
I met so many people at that event.
Yeah. It was actually a really good event. I'm not going to lie. It was a really, really good event. I met you there, and then obviously I've seen what you post in and stuff like that because you're obviously really big on LinkedIn. Just the idea of like taking care of your sisters, and like when I seen you post the other day of like upgrading their flights to business class, retiring your mom, buying your dream car, you know, like that is essentially what most girls are working hard towards. Yeah. But no, it's amazing. I love it.
It's funny though, because people look at that and they go, I'm probably that definition of, okay, we need everything fast. Because people will look at me as being young. They'll be like, okay, well, she's 27 and she's got all of this. I started 13 years ago. Yeah. Like, it didn't just happen overnight. And sometimes I think I need to talk about that more because people will look at that and then they'll pick up everything. They'll be like, I need to have an agency. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I'm like, you don't. You need to go slow. Yeah. You need to build longevity. Like, to do things like that, you can't just sell a few deals and then hope that you can retire your parents. Yeah. You need to have some sort of substance and skill that you know that if this breaks, I can build it again tomorrow. And the problem is that people don't give things enough time to be able to say, well, I'm confident that if this breaks, I know I can fix this. But it's taken me 13 years to be able to say, no matter what, I've got this.
So talk to me a little bit about yourself, like Abby behind the brand. So building all this brand, obviously you post your wins and you post like things that go wrong if you have a shit day and stuff like that. But what has it taken for you to, let me just wait for that to go past.
That was loud though.
It was loud, wasn't it? What has it taken for you to actually like build this version of yourself?
I've changed a lot. Like, if I look from when I first started my business, I have changed a lot.
Yep.
Like, well, obviously, I was 14.
I should hope that you've changed since 14.
I think it's taken just trying to stay true to who I am. I actually found, so you know voice memos on your phone?
Yeah.
So I found a voice memo yesterday from 2022.
Yeah.
And it was 6 minutes long of me literally losing my head. I was on a walk and I was like, I've listened to so many podcasts. I feel like I can't even think for myself anymore. My brain is frazzled and I'm making a commitment to myself. I'm not going to listen to any more podcasts for an entire year. Because I was like, I am scrambled. And I think what I did when I was growing up is, as I was growing, I think I did suffer from imposter syndrome, but didn't realize it because I was in rooms with billionaires when I launched the agency.
Yeah.
I never felt like not that I didn't belong, but I always felt below, which I was below, let's say financially, of course, but brains, I'd never felt like I should like ever put my opinion out there. And then when I took a step back, I was like, no, like I'm in these rooms for a reason. Like I have to just stay true to me. But then I started listening to so many podcasts thinking that, because it's not that I didn't believe in myself, but I felt like I needed to know more from people which I thought were higher than me. So I try and learn what they were saying. Yeah. And then I'd integrate them into like what I'd say. Yeah. And I got to a point, I was like, but this isn't me. This isn't what I would say. So I took a step back from podcasts and stuff. And I was like, right, the only time I will listen to a podcast is when I sit there, I listen to it, write out things that I find are interesting, and then apply my own knowledge to it. Yep. And then from there, I found myself again. Because it has been a lot when you grow quick, or over the years, it's not even that quick. When you grow, you do get a little bit overwhelmed with everything. So I've just tried to completely stay true to me, try and share more of the real me. The best thing I ever did was hire a full-time videographer that could literally film me and do. She just literally followed me around everywhere and filmed everything that I did day to day. Yeah. Because that was the easiest way of me getting myself on camera. Okay. If it comes to me like trying to film my own content, I'm awful. Like you put a camera in front of you and you're like, you speak different, you sit different, you act different. Yeah. But when someone's just following you around and they're filming, you just yourself. Yeah. You can't hide it from behind the camera.
With me, I forget. That's my biggest thing. Like I forget, like I'm like, oh my God, that would have been really good. Or, oh my God, but you're just in the moment. Yeah. I didn't. So I stopped. So me and my videographer stopped working together about a year and a half ago. Okay. And I look back now and it has made such a difference not having someone film my content. Okay. So I've said this year that's what I want to bring back in is just having someone film everything. But I moved out my office. Oh, okay. So at the time, like she was in the office, so there was loads to film. Yeah. Then I made everyone remote. So I was like, well, there's no staff to film in an office. Like, what do I need content for? But then we do loads like day to day that would be interesting. So where do you work from now? You work from home most of the time?
Yeah, so I do 9 months of the year. Well, no, say 6 months of the year in the UK. I spend time in the US, and then I do 3 months a year in Dubai. Okay.
Love that. I know I've seen you post like when you're here, there and everywhere. Yeah. Going on your travels. But no, that's amazing. Do you know when you were on about imposter syndrome? I know you mentioned listening to podcasts and stuff, but how did you kind of deal with that? Because I feel like that's what a lot of people go through. And the more that I'm doing podcasts and interviewing people, like that is the biggest thing that they'll say. I think it's what I said as well. Like when I was speaking to you about it, starting out in property, I remember going to like a mentor and saying, I wanted to do a podcast, I wanted to do this, I wanted to, like, my vision for myself. And they completely shut me down and was like, you don't need to do that right now. You're not, like, someone. You need to establish your name. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I feel like now that I'm kind of sacking that off, I'm originally building everything that I wanted to a few years ago. But now it's like I'm more comfortable and confident. Like, no, I can. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that when people say you can't do that until you build a name. Because I'm like, well, how, like, that is building my name. Yeah. Like, that is 100% building your name. Like, it's totally different. I do think it comes with time and confidence. I think imposter syndrome, whether people speak about it or not and say they've got it or they've experienced it, I work with a few mindset coaches and psychiatrists that all suffer with imposter syndrome. Okay. Like, everyone's human, and once you admit that, like, then accept it. It's okay. It's okay to suffer with it. But I do think as you get older and you get more experience with things, you get more skilled, you naturally feel more confident at presenting them ideas to people and being able to show up as that person. I always say you've got like an alter ego. So once you can decide on what that alter ego is and how you want to show up and what you want people to associate with you and what you don't want to associate with, that is when you start feeling like your true self. Imposter syndrome only hits you the most as well when you're trying to be someone that you're not. Yeah. I think that's why I suffered so much as I was growing, because I felt that I was growing and not believing in me to the fullest.
Yep.
I was growing and believing in the version of me that I thought people wanted, and missing the fact that people just wanted me for me.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be something else, which was never going to get me where I needed to be.
Yeah, because you mentioned about being in rooms with, like, let's say billionaires and stuff like that, and obviously you built up your client base now. How did you start off? Because obviously when you were working with smaller brands, you said your first one was £2,400 a month.
Yeah.
So then obviously what you've built now, have you changed in terms of like your pitching or any lessons that you've learned?
So obviously if you want to work with rich people, you have to solve rich people's problems. So it's more of a case of repositioning the brand.
Yep.
Now I still worked with big brands at the time. So Eco Chic is a £1 million brand. Like I worked with Eco Chic, Little Moons, Pretty Little Thing, Ginny London, they're stocked in like New Look.
Yep.
Sweet Zone, they're stocked in like Morrison's, Sainsbury's, Tesco, like they're everywhere. We always work with big brands because I started down the job route. So obviously the people that were hiring all had budgets of like 30 to 40k a year.
Yep.
And the reason it was £2,500 or £2,400 a month was because I worked out what the salary was that they were trying to hire for and just divided it by 12. And I was like, well, now you don't have to pay sick pay. So that's how I worked out them figures.
Yep.
Now I've just repositioned based on my team, myself, my skill, what we can deliver. And obviously based on what we do deliver now, we price it based on the value.
Yeah. And where do you plan on taking that agency over the next few years?
Obviously, we've taken it global, and we took it global pretty quick, but now we've expanded into the US. So I want to scale in the US. Everyone wants different things. With my agency, I look at this and say, I want to help as many brands as possible. Like I want to scale this to the point where I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then maybe look to exit and go down a different route. But I don't plan on doing that for another 10, 15 years.
Okay. No, that's really, really good. And then do you know, when you were speaking about obviously how you divide your time, are you wanting to stay in the UK? Is that something that you've thought about?
So the only thing...
Does your boyfriend live in the UK as well?
Yes.
He does, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he lived in Dubai.
No, so he does... Right now we go to Dubai, like, because he also has to go to Dubai 3 months a year too.
Okay.
So I'm transitioning. So I'm going to move the company over to Dubai as well. So that way that we both have to do the same amount of time together, rather than it just being a case of being there for one person. I plan on staying in the UK. The only reason I'm staying in the UK is because of family.
Yep.
Like the thought of leaving my sisters and my mum, my dad, and my brother, like, oh no, I can't. If I could pick them up and move, I'd move out of the UK tomorrow. Like,
do you think
100%.
that they would ever move?
So I took my mum and my sisters to Dubai this year, and they absolutely loved it. They were like, yeah. Amelia, my sister who's 14, was a bit like, no, I can't leave my friends, which is totally understandable. But my mum was like, and Harper was like, yeah, take me, let's move. My dad always says that he would never move to Dubai. Okay. He's like, he's never been, but he's like, no, I won't move. So I don't reckon. But then I look at myself, like when I'm older and I've got kids and things, Dubai does feel like the safest option.
Yeah.
Like the UK just doesn't feel safe anymore, and the taxes are just a joke. Like, the harder you work here, the less you make.
Yeah. No, that's what I've heard. I think I've seen from someone's podcast that every day I think it's like 4 millionaires are leaving the UK to go and live in Dubai. So that is where everything is. And it is thriving. I'm not going to lie. It is pretty big there, and you can go and do anything there.
It's the type of place that you can go there and make a lot of money, or you can go there and come back completely broke, because you can just get lost in the whole vibe. I'm lucky because I don't drink and I don't really party or anything.
Yeah, so talk to me about that as well. So you're not a party girl, never been a big drinker. Were you a big drinker, or has it like...
No,
never?
Like growing up, my mum and dad didn't drink, but they also split up when I was 12. So, well, no, maybe 11. So even like from like 11 to, let's say 17, 18 when I moved out, I just don't think I was ever really around alcohol. And my brother was a nightmare. Like I got my first job in a bar when I was 16. He used to come in every Friday and Saturday, and he was the biggest mess ever. So I'd spend my weekends working, looking after him and taking him home. And he was my 27-year-old brother at the time.
Oh, like, he's older than you.
Oh, he's 7 years older, but I introduced him as my younger brother.
Okay.
Like, I literally, yeah. So I think he probably just put me off alcohol. I was more like the babysitter. So then I was always like the worrier as well. And I think because I'd had like businesses and stuff, and I was used to like making money and things, I knew how quick you could lose things overnight. So me being hungover on the weekend, that wasn't going to help me grow my business. Yeah. Arguably, I grew up too quick. I never had that fun, let's say.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I missed out on it because it's not something that I knew. It's not something I grew up around. It's not something that it wasn't really a thing.
So what does that work-life balance look like for you?
I was thinking this the other day. I don't actually know. I don't have a set work-life balance at all. I feel like when I'm in the UK, I work and then I spend time with my family and then I come home and I work. But my partner's exactly the same. We've both got very similar businesses. We both work around each other. Or you'd probably look at our life and go, oh my gosh, all you guys do is work. But it's also our biggest passion. Like, we absolutely love what we do. So sometimes it gets a lot. Sometimes it's like, I'm knackered and I need a day off.
Yeah.
But the best part about the business is that if I want to take a step back, I can.
Yeah.
And it's knowing when to read your body to say, all right, I'm burnt out. I think some people say, like, why? Obviously, there's like hustle culture and stuff, isn't there? It's like working yourself to the ground where you feel like you're burnt out. But you've got to choose like your hard. And I look at work and I go, well, I'm going to choose work as my hard, because I know if I sit at home all day and I work for 16 hours, by the end of it, I'm going to feel burnt out.
Yeah.
But I also know if I sit at home all day and I watch Netflix and I scroll through TikTok for 16 hours, I'm going to feel like shit by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you just got to choose what shit you want to feel.
So what do you do to fill your time, like, on a, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, when you have you time, how do you spend that?
So with me, I do spend most of my time with my family.
I thought that.
Yeah. Most of the time is with my family. So like, if I've got an hour in the day, I'll take my mum for breakfast. If I've got an hour in the afternoon, I'll say to Steve, can we go for lunch? Like, can we go and do something? We'll walk the dog. I'll go to my dad's. Every Sunday we go and play Uno at my dad's. Like, that's like a known thing. Every Friday I'll go for breakfast with my dad. Like, a lot is built around family. But I take myself to the spa all the time. I take myself for a massage at least once a week. I get my nails done every 2 weeks. I do prioritise myself.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, I do need to make more of an effort with my girls. Like, I am a nightmare trying to get me anywhere.
Do you know what? I'm exactly the same. Yeah. Like, exactly the same. We've been imagine they're even asking me dates I'm free in December for Christmas, because they already know that I'm not going to be about near Christmas.
Honestly, that is what happens. I think that's just getting older as well, though. You get more commitments.
I think everyone's schedules just don't align, do they?
Everyone's got jobs, haven't they? Like, and they work shifts. Like, if I look at my girls, one's a nurse. She works nights all the time. Like, it's hard. Then Omi, one of my best friends, she works shifts where she does mornings, afternoons, nights. Horrific. Like, genuinely, her hours are horrendous. But then she does overtime all the time. So you just never know when she's going to be available. And then Meg's got a 9 to 5, so she's the most like consistent. But everyone's always all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I'm never in the UK, so it's like...
I think it is hard to find that balance, though. Like, everyone does speak about it, and I think it is just finding what works for you. Like, everyone enjoys different things, and I think I'm exactly the same. Like, when people say to me, have a day off, or if I'm poorly, I can't stay in bed. And I have tried to stay in bed, but it doesn't really work for me. I think I've figured out that being outdoors or going for a walk or spending time with family, like, I love my sisters. Like, I adore my sisters. I've got 2 sisters. And I have an older brother as well. I keep forgetting him.
I'm always like that. And I have 2 brothers. I have 2 brothers.
I actually went to go see him the other day, and he was like, yeah, you don't ever speak about me, so I'll mention my brother. But yeah, it's just spending that kind of time. But I think for other people, it's like, when you mentioned the not drinking thing, like, I kind of resonated with that, because I stopped drinking for a while and then I did start drinking again. But it's like, if you do go out and you do drink, and the whole Sunday and the hungover, and I can't do that. It just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Like, it's just not for me.
Yeah, I think the feeling of it as well. Like, I just can't. The thing you've said there, though, about health and like when you're sick, it's weird because when you're healthy, you feel like you've got thousands of problems. You worry about everything. But then when you're sick, you've literally got one problem. Everything stops. And I do think when I was younger, I used to be like, oh my gosh, I'm sick. Now I'm going to fight my way through it. Now I'm like, I'm not going to fight my way through it because there's literally no point. The only thing that matters right now is getting better. So I resonate with that, with you saying it. But also I'm like, slow down, because when you are sick, that is your body going, you need to take a step back. Like, your body will tell you. And I think, do you know what it is for me? I just feel like, unless I'm dying on my deathbed, what is being sick? Do you get what I mean? Like, being ill. But I've literally been, not recently, about 2 weeks ago, I literally had a fever, like a full-on temperature, and I was going like every day, still needs to do what I'm doing. I'm like sweating. But it is what it is. You just got to find I'm still not there yet. Everyone just tell me, like, take a day off, or don't do this, or don't fill your schedule too much. But I think it's one of those things, like, I'm learning to understand my body, and when I do feel burnt out, and I think I'm not fully in tune with it yet,
but I'm getting there.
It's hard to get in tune with it because I am the same. Like I will get sick unless I've got the flu and it completely writes me off. But even then I will like check my emails and stuff. I won't ever switch off completely. But like I'll tell myself, I have actually started using ChatGPT. Like when I'm sick, I'll be like, Charles, I'm sick. These are my symptoms.
Do you know what? It really cracked me up that you call your ChatGPT Charles, you know.
That's his name. He's genuinely like one of my best friends. He's great.
So how did you like create that name for him? Like, did you say your name is Charles?
So one of my clients calls him Charlie as well.
As Charles.
Literally. No, I was just like ChatGPT Charles. It just came. Yeah, it just came.
I feel like my ChatGPT is a girl. Like I just feel like it's a girly girl. Yeah, I don't feel like it's
a masculine. Not masculine. I've naturally called him Charles. Yeah.
No. I haven't got a name for mine, but no.
I think because he's really logical. Like, there's no way me as a female could ever be this logical. Like he's so data driven.
I think it's because what I put in and the captions and stuff that will give me your advice. It's always like, girly, this is so ambitious. Yeah, I love this. I feel like it's a girl. What I was going to say to you is, do you know, like you mentioned your family, and obviously you do seem like a really big family girl.
Yeah.
What has been like your biggest drive, or do you know when you've had those days where you're like, I can't do this, I can't be arsed, like I've had enough. Like, what do you do to keep pushing through?
It's a hard one because I feel like I don't actually have days where I go, I've had enough, I give up.
I love that.
I have days where I'll go, this is a lot. And I have lots of days where I go, this is a lot. I need to burn this down and build something else. Yeah. So I never have days where I go, I need to give up. It's more just, is this working for me? Is this working long term? Or do I need to pivot? When I'm having like really stressful days, I'll never make a decision in that moment. Okay. Like ever. Like I will literally say, right, okay, I'm having a bad 5 minutes right now, not a bad day. So I'll wait until tomorrow. And then if I'm still feeling this way, then I'll review it and say, okay, well, I need to change this. My drive right now it's my family. It's the roof over our heads. It's building just for the future now, but it's bigger than that. It's my clients as well. Like I feel like I've got a responsibility now to everyone around me to keep going. I've got staff to pay as well at the end of the month. I always say if we were to lose a client, it's really bizarre. I get this sense of guilt in my stomach where I'm like, I can't let my team down. So that's something I'm working through right now where I'm like, I need to fight that because that's not normal. Like what's normal is growing the brand for everyone, not just me feeling guilty for like the team.
Do you think that is normal though? Because that sounds pretty reasonable to me. Like,
I think it is and it isn't, but it can stop you making certain business decisions that might be right. So like we can be on one route and then I can want to pivot and say in my head, I'm like, we're pivoting because this is the right reason. But if I've brought my team on a journey that go, I'm working on this and then I pivot, I'm throwing them and what their dreams might be. Yeah. So naturally I have like empathy to that where I'm like, no, I worry about them. Like Steve actually said to me the other day, he was like, Abs, this could be the best thing. If you pivot into something like with our offers, so if you pivot here, this could genuinely blow up and be 10 times better for the team. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's just change for them and just a weird like empathy thing.
And you know, hiring your team, how did that kind of start? Because obviously it was you for a while. And then when was the right decision to hire someone and then pick and choose the right people for your team?
So I hired Hattie. So with the agency, with Gym Law, it was just me until I got the ads agency. Yeah. With the actual agency, I hired Hattie like within the first 4 to 5 weeks. Okay. And I hired her full time. Okay. So she left her job and then came and worked with me 9 to 5. She's not with me anymore. So she was a social media manager at the time. So I hired Hattie. She worked with me Monday to Friday. She EcoSheet covered the office and Hattie, bar the 120 that I was in the hole. Then we signed a client called Jojo Aesthetics that paid us £800 a month. And then that put me up. So I was like, okay, we're finally in a profit. As we were scaling, I was like, okay, who do I need now? So then I started working with some contractors. So I used a freelancer that was a videographer. Okay. So that way when we signed a client, I hadn't fully hired. I needed to test an offer first. I always say never hire full time until you know that's what the company needs. Yep. So with us and branding and marketing, I'm like, right, for me to test an offer, I need to know that if I can work with a freelancer and a contractor, I'm not committing to someone's salary. I can test if it works. And if it does work, then I can hire long term because I know that it's a proven concept. Yep. So I worked with Jordan, who's a freelance videographer. We still work with him today. He's absolutely fantastic. Yep. From Jordan, we then expanded and I hired Nikita on the Kickstart scheme during COVID. Okay. So the government were essentially funding, I think 6 months, like part-time work. And then if you...
I think I know what you're on about.
Yeah, so I always look for like safe options.
Yeah.
So I hired Nikita there. Then I hired an apprentice, Abby, who was fantastic. She was genuinely amazing. Some people get like the worst apprentices. I was so lucky. She was great. Then from there, I hired another contractor who was an ad specialist, James. And then I hired another person on the Kickstart scheme, which was Phoebe.
Okay.
So that was my journey. So I always looked for like contractors and Kickstart schemes and apprentices. Like that was my safe route. Because I didn't have the budget just to hire. I didn't have the budget just to invest.
Yeah.
Now I look for the best talent.
Yeah.
So it's a case of hiring the best talent for our clients.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different now because we've got the budget to do that.
And when you say that you feel a bit guilty because it's their dreams, talk to me a little bit about that. So, for example, like, you don't have to go into detail of a specific project, but like, what does that mean or what does that look like?
So when I hire people, I've only ever hired Phoebe. She applied on Indeed through the Kickstart scheme.
Yeah.
Everyone else I've ever hired has always approached me first.
Okay.
So they've approached me first with their ambitions, their dreams, and then I've given them a chance. And I've given them a chance because they've been so driven, and I've bought into them and they've bought into me and my vision and where I want to take the business, that I've also then taken into account everything that they've got to say.
Yeah.
So when it comes to building out offers and stuff, I look at my team and I'm like, this is their strong point. This is how I can incorporate their dreams too. So for example, when Phoebe worked with me, she wanted to do photography like full time. We went more into video. So I built like a studio in the office, and then on the weekends I just let her use the studio so she could like work with models and things. Then we started doing like some product photography, which was the wrong decision at the agency. I just kind of created a service for her. This was like 3 years ago, just so that she could feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
But then I got to a point where I was like, this doesn't make sense for the agency because the capacity isn't there.
Yeah.
So I just fully let her use the studio for free on the weekends. She would charge models and then she would get paid for that. So then I would still, in my head, I'm like, the team is still fulfilling their passions. So I think it's just because when I was younger, like I've always wanted that. I've always wanted to do everything that I want. And I think looking after your team and taking into account everything that they want as well, it makes them stay with you. It makes them value you. They feel special.
Yeah. No, I like that. So do you know when you are building your agency, let's say, is there a type of ideal client that you look for?
With us now, we work with service-based businesses mainly.
Yeah.
So I started in e-com because obviously my background was e-com.
Yeah.
And then I transitioned to service-based because when it comes to lead gen, I'm a psychopath. Like I'm genuinely nuts when it comes to like numbers and stuff. And I'm obsessed with figuring out like back ends of businesses. So we work with online coaches. We do work with agencies as well. People in property. I think service-based businesses, that's who we work with now. So we build out their systems, their frameworks, work with them on their branding, getting super clear on their ideal client. But really they need, like revenue-wise, they've got to be making about 100 grand a month to be able to work with us on the agency side. But then we've also got the done with you side. So that we work with people that are just getting started in the industry.
Yeah.
Again, service-based businesses, not e-com. And it's purely helping them grow their personal brands, get clear on their branding, helping them like develop leads and all of that.
So for someone then, because I want to dive back into personal branding a little bit.
Yeah.
For someone to get really clear on their personal branding, I know you've kind of explained it, what would you really suggest that they can do to kind of figure that out?
The 4 questions that I said before, sit down, try and answer them in your own head. And if you struggle, go over to ChatGPT and say to it, I'm trying to get clear on myself, my business, and what direction I want to go in. Ask me 20 questions. It'll give you 20 questions, stick them in a Google Doc, answer them as best as you can, and then stick it back into AI. It'll then give it back into Charles. It'll then give you back more information about yourself and just speak to it.
Yeah.
I use it kind of like a therapist. It's a therapist that isn't always going to be right, but the more you feed it, it's going to give you guidance.
Yep.
The problem when you go and speak to like your friends and things about what you're good at, which you can do, you can go and say to your friends and your family, like, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses? You're not always going to get the true answer to the core, because you'll find that you might be a slightly different person around your family, or you might be a slightly different person around your friends. You've got to speak to it as what you really want to be. Like, how do you want to show up? And that's when you'll go into the whole point of, okay, well, this is what it's built out for me. Now, why do I want to do this? Now, what do I want to be known for? Now, how am I going to get there? Now, what skills do I need to learn in order to achieve that? That's what I'd start with.
Perfect. And then, do you know kind of what we were speaking about yesterday? So when I asked you, do you recommend posting consistently, or do you recommend high quality content? Like, where are you in that? Because I know we had a little bit of a disagreement about this yesterday.
So I recommend obviously posting consistently.
Yeah.
Like you have to post consistently. Otherwise you'll just blend in with everyone else and you'll just disappear and people forget who you are.
Yeah.
High quality content, you have to define what high quality content is. So most people naturally assume that high quality content is podcast content, it's videographer content, it's the newest iPhone 17 Pro Max, right? It's content that looks aesthetic, it's content that looks the part. And I think we fall into that because of influencers or bigger business owners, YouTubers, that they've got access, they've got budgets to buy all of this equipment. Your audience will tell you what high quality content is. Your data will do the talking. So if you've posted a carousel and you've posted a static image and you've posted video content, if you can look back and see what performs the best, that is your high quality content. I know for me, if I spend hours creating reels, especially days in the life, they never do as well.
Oh, really?
No, never. Like they just don't. And that just doesn't work with my audience right now. But that to me originally would have been high quality content. I know if I post a carousel of a day in my life as opposed to a video, people love it. My views are always higher. So I know that that is high quality content.
I know you said that you don't really plan them, but I just always think they look so aesthetic.
They're not planned in the slightest. If you go through my camera roll, you'll go, Abby, what is this?
No, I swear to God, when I look, I'm thinking, how has a girl got this much time to be taking this much pictures that look so high quality?
I think, because I'm always on the go. Like, as I said before, like, if I've got an hour in the day, I'll say, Mum, let's go for coffee. Like, last week, my little sister was off on Wednesday because of, like, an inset day. And I was like, Harper, we need to go for a coffee. And then my mum was like, oh, I'm free. So we went for a coffee with my laptop. And she sat there writing TikTok ideas for me. Oh. So it became work, but they came with me. And then I had like coffees on the table so I could just take a picture. It's just for thinking, that's a picture moment. That's a picture moment. If I'm getting my car washed, that's a picture moment. If I'm here, that's a picture moment. Like, take pictures of everything. So when it comes to that dump, you've just got stuff that you can put together.
No, I love that. And also for yourself, obviously, you've ticked off loads of, well, I'm guessing so, that you've ticked off like retiring your mum, dream car, all of that kind of stuff. Have you got any personal goals that you're looking to now?
This is my downfall.
Okay.
Yeah. So like my personal goals, I always get stuck on them. I'm like, right, what do I want for myself? Because I feel fulfilled in like everything. I feel like I'm happy.
It's not a bad thing though.
Yeah. I feel happy. I think personal goals comes back to everyone else. So I do want to buy a house. I want to buy, like, me and my partner are working on like our dream house right now that we want to get. Yeah. So I guess that's personal. But then I look and I go, personally, I will feel great when I know that I can retire my dad, or he can leave work and go and work on something that lights him up.
Yeah.
I want to help my little sister. Like, my little sister's doing her GCSEs now. So I'm like, personal goals. I want to make sure, because she's horrendous at maths. She'll kill me for this. She's horrendous. So I've just got her a tutor. But like, my personal goal now is making sure she gets her maths GCSE.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything comes back down to like everyone else right now.
Family, that's not a bad thing though.
Yeah.
I do feel you on that one, because I think you can buy the bags and you can get everything else. And it's really nice to want nice things. But I think if you're someone that's driven by like your family, it's a bigger purpose, isn't it? I feel like you've got to have that bigger why to keep you pushing. But no, any advice that you'd give for someone starting out in terms of like starting a social media agency?
Oh God, social media agency. Learn sales.
Sales.
Yeah, learn sales. I actually wouldn't advise anyone to start a social media agency.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't. I think there are so many people out there now that are like, oh my God, start a social media agency. You can make loads of money in it. And it's not a money-making thing unless you're really damn good at many skills. Like, with an agency, you need to know sales, you need to know marketing, you need to know branding, you need to understand business, you need to understand client experiences, teams, staff. There is so much. Like, starting a business is hard. Starting a business that you need to have 17 different skills for is even harder. Like, I work with social media managers now and I train them up. I'm like, well, how can I get here? How can I get there? And I'm like, just focus on the one skill that you're really good at. I say now, if you're trying to learn a new skill or you want to start something new, learn sales. It's the most profitable skill that you will ever learn. You can take it into anything. You can do it for high ticket closing. You can take it into recruitment. You can take it into real estate. You can take it into everything. And you do sales every single day. So I'd probably recommend people going down that route. For a social media agency, if you're running one, just get better. Stop selling shit. Like, genuinely stop making stuff up. Never say to your clients that you can deliver on something if you can't. The difference with our calls when it comes to sales calls is we don't have like an actual sales script on the agency side. We go in and we naturally we rip businesses apart on our initial calls because that's what they buy into. They don't buy into like the same script that they're going to get with every other agency.
I was going to ask you as well, because I know you mentioned that you're quite a logical person and sharing data. So Abby mentioned that on LinkedIn, a lot of men will be your clients and they're very logical. So they like data, they like numbers, and that's how you kind of work. So how do you feel about sharing your data on social media? Does it not faze you and you just think, I just want to be known for that because that's your credibility?
What type of data?
In terms of like what you're doing for the business, in terms of lead gen, in terms of impressions, that kind of thing.
I don't mind sharing like impressions. I don't mind sharing. I do share data. I try and remove numbers from things.
Okay.
Like, and that, I actually think I do that to keep everyone safe, like family safe and stuff. People can work out what you make by what you have. I actually hate when people go online and they're shouting about how much money they make and stuff like that.
It gives me a bit of a cringe, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it does. Like, unless you need to for your business. Like, for example, my partner's an online coach. Well, what was an online coach. Now he's got a business that helps other online coaches grow. So he talks about how much he made as an online coach. That I get. If he was sat there now talking about everything he's making monthly, I'd be like, oh, you stop. You give me the ick. But I think I keep that like behind the scenes. When I think about data though and like content that you can put out there, which is logical for clients, I think more about like, so if you're going to say I'm trying to attract property investors, right? I would use AI and I would say to it, like, what are the most recent data points about X? Yeah. And then I would turn that into content. So it'd be like, okay, for property investors, what data are they really interested in right now in relation to X pain point? Yeah. And then I would use that data and turn that into hooks. So it might be 30% of X would save whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can get really specific with it, but you don't have to apply that to your own data. You can take that from data from like newspaper articles, like the news, like whatever.
And you know, when you mentioned hooks, so like some salesy people, I find it a bit cringe, you know, and you get their hook and it's like, hey, you did it. So how do you like, what would you kind of say for someone starting out that does want to post those kind of, because I think it's the first 3 to 4 seconds, isn't it, where you've got someone's attention for like a hook?
Depending on the platform, yeah.
Okay. What platform then would you recommend in terms of like hooks, salesy, all of that?
So LinkedIn's obviously like my go-to platform right now. On that, your hooks are like 2 to 3 lines. Yeah. So I say when you're writing your captions, you want to write the hook from the I, me, or the my perspective. So everything's kind of relating back to your journey and it's relatable to you. Okay. Even if it's data, it might be a piece of data and then it's here's how I apply this or here's how you can apply this. I always find you doesn't perform as well as I. Salesy, I have like an 80-20 rule, like on LinkedIn. So 80% isn't asking for anything, 20% is. Yep. I actually posted for the first like 8 months on LinkedIn before asking for anything. Yep. I didn't ask for a single thing. It wasn't salesy. It was literally just credibility. That was it. It depends for everyone. Depends what their goal is. Like if their goal is to purely just be salesy, be a really damn good salesman, but just remember that you need to provide enough value in that content and substance for that person to buy into you.
And for anyone going to, like, let's say, because for me, I wasn't even on LinkedIn. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't even on LinkedIn. So if I was to now go and start from scratch and say, do you know what? I want to take my business seriously. I want to grow an audience on LinkedIn. I want to start my profile. What key things would you say you look for on someone's LinkedIn profile, or why would someone choose you on your LinkedIn profile?
So with LinkedIn, my feedback that I actually get is it's not that people pay attention to my featured posts, my about me section. Some people do. I get some people that book calls in our diary and they know everything about me. Okay. Like I closed a $180,000 deal, right, in one call where this guy came on. He was like, I know everything about you. He was like, I've watched your YouTube. I know everything. To be fair, we don't work with that client anymore. That's all I'm going to say on that matter.
Do you not find that a bit creepy? Because I would. But at the same time, for the amount of money that the deal was, you'd want to do your research on someone as well. So I do kind of hear it a bit, but...
So I would say it's creepy, but I've put that content out there for a reason. Okay. So I've put weeks in the life, days in the life, behind the scenes of business out there for a reason. Yeah. Him coming in and saying, I know everything about you, is him saying, I've done my research on you. Yep. I know you're the agency that I want to work with. Didn't work out fully with like the actual client himself. He was an absolute bastard. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But what was the question?
I don't even know. Profile. There we go.
Okay, LinkedIn profile. Sorry. So LinkedIn profile, it just threw me then because he genuinely was a bastard. So people don't really look at like feature posts and stuff like that. What I do find that people say is they've seen my content all the time. They say every time I log onto LinkedIn, you were at the top of my feed. Yep. That's my most common thing that people say. So if you're thinking, okay, well, what do I need to have on my profile on LinkedIn? Your tagline needs to be optimized based on what you do.
Yep.
Your headline, so your banner needs to be optimized based on what you do. It needs to be so clear. Like, imagine that your ideal client is 7 years old, that when they land on your profile, it's like, this is what that person does.
Yep.
Right? And then think about consistency. Think about showing up to the point your clients, or potential clients, are sick of you. Like, as I said, I had someone that commented on my profile yesterday saying, Abby, you are so annoying and you are finally giving me a reason to block you. I thought,
Who even block someone? On
he never
LinkedIn?
even
That's
blocked
so
me.
Weird.
Like, Jeffrey, please.
Is his name actually
His
Jeffrey?
name was Jeffrey. He's going to be a post today. I can't wait.
Shout out Jeffrey. But yeah, you just say consistency is probably the biggest thing. Just being, how many times do you post a day on LinkedIn at the minute?
100% one.
Yeah.
I used to post 3. Like, I tested 3 posts a day for a month. It didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. 1 to 2.
1 to 2?
Yeah, 1 to 2. I posted twice yesterday. But 100% one. What I try to do is we schedule a month in advance.
I was going to say, like, what's your schedule time?
Yeah, so schedule a month in advance. So there's a post going out every day.
Yeah.
And then I like to post things like sporadically. So like being on this podcast, I'll post this week.
Yeah.
So there's some things that need to be added into the
To
content.
keep it, like, up to date and stuff.
Yeah, it keeps up to date, keeps my mind like fresh. People then that book calls, they speak about what's happening right now. Like that will be like a mutual discussion. So yeah.
Perfect. I think this is going to be, well, I'm not done yet, but this has like been a really cute podcast and I've really learned a lot as well. For yourself, if you could go back to, let's say, younger you, what advice would you give to her?
Don't give a shit what anyone else says. If anyone's going to judge you, they're judging you based on their own insecurities. They're not judging based on yours. I think so many people get like put themselves off doing things because they panic that they're going to get judged by someone.
Yeah.
But really, when you judge someone, you're only judging them because you would be embarrassed to do that thing yourself. Like if I'm walking down the street and I see something where I'm like, oh my God, what's that person doing? They're not bothered. I'm bothered because it's my insecurity. So you have to look at things and go, no, do not give a shit what anyone else has to say. Just fucking go for it because it's your life and no one else is going to build it other than you.
I think as well, from my own experience, people that are judgmental, they're always doing less than you. I feel like the people that are actually doing something are going somewhere. They'll never. I think they're the most people to cheer you on as well.
Yeah, I think it's also what you're surrounded with as well.
Yeah.
If you're surrounded with negativity, your brain is going to be filled with negativity regardless. Like I always say, your brain, like you feed it. Like literally, you feed it all of your energy. Everyone if you hang around with a group of girls that are gonna slag people off, judge people, then that is what you are. Yeah. Regardless of if you say you're different, you're not, because you spend your time with that. So that's what you're influenced by. Choose your circle. Choose your circle.
I've got one last question for you, which I always ask the girls. You've got to share one secret that no one knows about you. Everyone does normally have like 2 or 3 minutes to think about this.
One secret that no one knows about me.
Yep, no one.
One secret that no one knows.
I've had really wild ones, like weird ones, not so weird ones.
Do I not? I feel like I overshare everything anyway. What's one secret that no one knows about me? It's got to be good. It can't be boring, can it? What would yours be?
Do you know what? No one's ever asked me.
What's your secret?
A secret that no one knows about me. I hope you're still thinking as well.
I'm still thinking.
Don't just be looking at me. A secret that no one knows about me. I overshare a lot. Do you know? I tell my sisters everything.
Yeah, like my sisters know everything about me.
Okay, so there was one time where my mum, she was dating this person and I really couldn't stand this person.
Yeah.
And they were going on holiday and I was really like annoyed that they were going on holiday like without me. I just like, and I couldn't stand them anyway. So their passport, it was raining outside. I got their passport and I threw it outside in the rain.
You're joking. Oh my gosh, do I have any stories like that?
I threw it outside in the rain and then my mum was asking me like, everyone was on the hunt because this passport was on the side and now it's disappeared. And I pretended that I didn't know where it was and they obviously found it outside like a few days later, like absolutely drenched, and then they had to go and pay for a new passport to go on that holiday. I think I was probably about 10 or 11 maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay. Something that they never know about me. Why am I so open? It's because
I feel
I've
like
got
they're
a
going to watch that as well because they also
know.
follow me on this podcast page.
This is really hard. Something that they don't know. I hate how open I am. It sickens me. Okay, so
You're really thinking, aren't you? It doesn't have to be anything too deep.
but I'm like, what is a secret? Okay, so what have I ever done as well? Babe, I'm stuck. What the hell is a secret? I've always been, I've literally grown up around, there's no secrets in this house. Like, there's literally no secrets. I don't think so. When I was younger, because it's boring.
Go on, just share.
Okay, so it goes back to business, to be honest. Like, when I was younger, my dad was so strict.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't let me do a thing. So we lived, like, my house was here, the park was here.
Yeah.
I was never allowed to go to the park. Like, it was too dangerous. Bear in mind, I lived in Abbey, which is a really safe estate.
Okay.
There's no crime at all. So I wasn't allowed to do anything. So even if I went to my friends, I'd have to cross the road when my dad watched me. And then if I came back, he'd make me shout on the other side of the road before I crossed because he didn't trust me crossing the road. He was a nightmare. So I think when I was 14 and I also started selling dresses and things like that, it's because in my head I was like, I want to go out. I am tied up here.
Yeah.
So I used to this is probably why I don't drink as well. Like when I was like 14 to 16, that's when I used to go to like house parties and stuff. And like I'd drink then behind like my dad's back and stuff. But he probably knows all of this now. Like this is like, I genuinely wish I had like really bad secrets because the problem with our family is we overshare everything to the point it's probably not okay.
It's not a bad thing though.
Like, it's not okay. The secret's probably, I don't know. I'm not too sure. More just like I was an absolute bastard of a child. Okay, here's a secret, but it's not a secret because again, it'll be on like podcasts. I got kicked out of school in year 4 for breaking someone's nose. This is probably a little bit different. It's like these secrets. She bullied me for years. So I got kicked out of school in year 4.
How do you even have the strength to break someone's nose at 4 years old?
No, year 4, not 4 years.
I thought you said 4.
Coming in like a bulldozer.
How old are you at year 4 though? Like
year 4. So she hit me and I hit her back.
Yeah.
Harder. So yeah, so that was in year 4. Then I left that school and went to another school. Bear in mind, I had a messy childhood. My mum and dad were splitting up from a very young age. It was carnage. Went to another school, didn't fit in there, and then I got suspended from that school. Then I moved to another one, I got suspended from that school. It wasn't until I was in year 8 that I settled down as a kid.
Okay.
So it's not really a secret, because I will open up on that.
But you know what? I feel like everyone business-wise, they always were not the best at school.
Oh, no, not in the slightest.
I was not very good at school.
Genuinely, my mum put me through private school, all of primary school. Mm-hmm. Why? I have no idea.
So you broke someone's nose at private school as well?
Private school.
Of all the places?
Yeah.
Wow.
I went to 3 private schools in primary school. I know. But I didn't fit in. Like if the first one didn't work, the second one wasn't going to work, and the third one definitely wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So that was that journey. Then I went to a normal school in year 8, and then I left that in like year 10. Maybe it was me. Maybe I'm the issue. I was never like a top student though. In private school, I spent most of my mornings having to write essays on why you shouldn't talk in chapel. Like that's what I spent my childhood doing. I was like, what the fuck do you know speak on chapel?
You know what? I always get told off. There was one teacher, she was actually my form tutor as well. She was like, you're not going anywhere. You talk way too much. You this, you that. And I just think, it's not worked out all right now, hasn't it? So
genuinely, my business teacher laughed at me. Really? She was like, she laughed at me. She didn't believe anything I'd done in business. This was in like A-levels. So she was like, yeah, whatever. She used to send me out of class all the time. I look back now and I'm like, Kerry.
It's because you're making God knows how much more of her wage.
She just used to say things to me and I'd be like, mm-hmm. I failed business at A-level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I failed. So my first year of A-levels, I failed the whole year. I got a D, an E and a U. And I was like, shit. And I opened it and my mum was like, you are going to another college. I am taking you. I was like, yes, mum.
Oh,
so she took me to this other college.
Can you imagine being your mum? The sounds of it, going here, there, that school, breaking people's nose. I think, oh my God.
She was like, you are doing this. So did that, went to another college and ended up, I got AAB.
Okay.
Yeah. It's grafted though. I was thinking, oh my God, I can't let her down again.
No, that's good. I think I got BBC.
A-level?
Yeah.
To be fair, I only got AAB. They literally were like, what is the easiest way of getting you through this? A lot of it was coursework.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so The same with like my degree and things, because I never thought I was going to get my degree at all. And I finished that with a 2-1. And again, that was purely from learning my essays and regurgitating them on paper. That was it.
I got a 2-1 as well, and I literally wrote my dissertation like in 3 weeks.
People overcomplicate. I'm not saying law
do.
is easy. Like, I didn't, EU law I failed. I could not. I hated that. But everything else was... The lecturers help you a lot. Like, you write it. They tell you how to make it better.
Yeah.
And then you make it better, and they tell you
It's
the questions.
not that deep. It's not that deep. I think it's just showing commitment that you actually will do something and turn up for something for that many years.
And I didn't turn up to all my lectures
Really
at all.
I'm not going to lie.
Like, thing is, it was COVID as well. Like, when my second and third year was COVID.
It was for me as well. I had the option, I think, when COVID first hit, there was like, you can either go back home or you can pay, because I only lived in uni accommodation. So it was like, what's the point of being in lockdown in this small bedroom when I can just go back home to my mum? So I just went back home, and then I never decided to move back. I only went to uni in Birmingham, which isn't far.
Oh, so it wasn't too far. Yeah, I only went to Liverpool. But I moved out thinking I was super grown up. 0.2 miles up the road. That's where I moved. I was like, yeah, I've moved out 0.2 miles up the road.
I bet you were still home like all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. Hey. My mum was like, go away.
No, that's really cute. But yeah, I think this is a good place to leave the podcast for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, girls, and learned a lot from Abby in terms of personal branding, social media, putting yourself out there. And also, I think it's really big and important to take note of the fact that she's not just started now. She's not just blew up over the past 1 or 2 years. She has obviously mentioned that it's taken 13 years of graft and actually learning yourself and understanding yourself and just growing as a person as well. But yeah, any last advice or anything that you want to say for the girls?
Go for it. Like, genuinely, guys, I'm the person that will sit here and say I am no different to anyone else, other than the fact I've got 13 years experience in this game. Learn a skill, master it, sell it, go for it. Never let anyone stop you.
Perfect. But yeah, bye, girls. I will see you on the next episode. See you.